rate.
Yes. Yes, we are waiting for the court pronouncement, but that does not mean that our own common sense cannot put certain things together while we await court's judgment.
So we can come to that conclusion before the courts say so.
Chamberlain, nobody is a kid here. We are not talking to some 5 or 10-year-old children. There are enough evidence here. Even when, I don't want to say the gentlemen, since they've become ministers now, let's call them gentlemen. Even when the gentlemen who participated and the governor who participated were claiming that initially they claimed nothing happened, even when we could identify their voices, eventually it became glaringly clear that that was their voice. You had the tape. You don't need any photograph to pick out His Excellency Fayoche's voice, to pick out His Excellency Obanel Koro's voice, and so on. We all know we have had them.
Let me get to
what do you want to say about this tape?
Wale Fakmo that joins us from Abuja via Skype. Thank you for joining us today. I mean, you were Attorney General under former Governor Kaide Fayemi. You also have gone through this tape. You heard so many comments about this. What can you tell us of this?
Well, thank you for having me. You know, this is a scandal. And, you know, it makes you wonder whether something is wrong with us in this country. You have a situation where a brigadier general for emphasis, in the Nigerian army was being talked down to like a 4-year-old kindergarten. You had a situation, as we've had in the audio, where the minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said happily that he was under the directive of Mr. President to pervert the electoral process. You heard from the audio the candidate or governor now happily saying that the chief of army staff called him to assure him that for the purposes of that election, the Nigerian army was going to be flying the Jonathan flag. And what have we done? We have rewarded the minister with a ministerial portfolio.
Well, let me ask then, if you say that we rewarded him because of this, is that a fair statement? Because, I mean, we heard the senator say at the time, look, a man, according to our law here, is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. If the court of law has not proved him guilty, how come you're saying that we're rewarding him based on what he's done?
Ordinary decency. A minister said that he was directed by Mr. President to pervert the electoral process. He advised the Brigadier General to play ball so that he can enhance his promotion. And you are saying that it's not what's not fair. You know, however this election goes, as far as I'm concerned, as far as any reasonable Nigerian should be concerned, our military, not only the military, our entire security situation requires an urgent overhaul. The Ekiti election, the gubernatorial election I mean, has done serious, if not irreparable damage.
Let me ask before I get on to the other guest here. Are you suggesting or saying that, well, based on this audio tape that we have heard, they are guilty?
No. You cannot. You are not guilty is not. What we are saying is that, given the seriousness of the issues, are you aware that what that video indicates is treason? Has anybody thought that the purpose of that video is to unlawfully remove a government? So what we are saying is that the nature of that audio should itself provoke the Chief of Defense Staff, at least, as far as the military is concerned, to commission a review and say, look, what has happened?
All right, well, we'll come back to that in just a moment. We need to take a quick break, but we'll be back and continue focusing on this matter. Join us again. Welcome back to Nigeria 2015. Let's move on now and get to hear from some of our correspondents who we did say will be standing by to bring this update on what is going on where they are. Well, Topa is speaking to us from Owerri, and he spoke to us earlier on the day. Here's his report, what he says.
Promise made, promise kept. This is the story down here in Owerri North Local Government area of Imo State. Earlier, I reported that out of the 12 wards we have in Owerri North Local Government area, only 2 wards have been able to get their permanent voter cards. But today, it's a different story, as INEC has fulfilled its promise of providing the remaining PVCs for the remaining 10 wards in Owerri North Local Government area. And this evening, we are at Obibi Ward 2, one of the distribution centers where people are collecting their permanent voter cards. And here with me, I have a resident who has just collected his permanent voter card.
For the past 1 month or thereabout, people are worried whether they will participate in this forthcoming election. But today, we have received a permanent voters card. And a few days ago, some concerned citizens approached the Federal High Court to Owerri to ensure that they release their voters card or there will be no election. But today, I think the community, the entire Obibi Ward 2 and the entire local government council, that's Owerri North, are very, very happy that the INEC have finally released their PVC.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
With this distribution in Owerri North Local Government area, INEC says by the end of the distribution, they would have achieved 90% distribution of permanent voter